It's obviously hard as a parent to see your child in pain. Ruby would actually go on Olivia's bed and tuck herself into where Olivia's pain were, and that would probably be the only time when she would actually settle and feel a bit more relaxed. I think without Ruby, we would have, struggled even more to see Olivia suffer like she did. Olivia's got cerebral palsy. She's non-verbal, but even though she's non-verbal, she has a wicked sense of humour. She's laughing at me now. As soon as we got Ruby, she immediately went straight underneath Olivia's wheelchair. In fact, when she was a puppy, she used to actually be on Olivia's knee in the wheelchair. So yeah, the bond was from the beginning, from when she was a puppy. I think without Ruby, I think there'd be a big void in Olivia's life. She does play a massive part in Olivia's life. She gives them more confidence. During COVID, she's been a fantastic companion for her. She helps her with her physio. She's not a trained therapy dog, but she does do quite a lot of therapies with Olivia through play and a physiotherapy. Like with Olivia's athetoid movements, she seems to be able to make her quite still. She just assists her where she can, and I think she gives her a lot of emotional support as well. Stretch your arms up, stretch both arms up in the air. Olivia likes the cuddles because she gets to give Ruby a proper cuddle in this way, don't you? Olivia just loves it. She just loves the affection. I think with Ruby, she's just got a bond that just can't be broken, really.
Because of Ruby, we're able to get outside in the fresh air and throw a few balls or go for a walk. It's difficult for her to interact in some ways, but just finding little ways that you can get her involved and playing with Ruby is a great way of doing that. So it's been really good for Olivia's sort of health and well-being, really, just having Ruby around and being able to get out of the house. Which you enjoy, don't you? Yeah.
We're not always able to do things that other families can do, but Ruby brings a lot to the family, and she's just made family life and Olivia's life complete, really. So in our eyes, she is a hero.
Everyone loves Simba. He's either bouncing off the walls or he's asleep. He is a very, very friendly dog. He loves people. There's not many dogs like him in the country. We're a very small team that supports all of the London Fire Brigade. Our job is to investigate fires to determine their cause and origin, and we have our dogs to support us. Simba's an English Springer Spaniel. We got him when he was a year old. I picked him up in Birmingham, and the very next day we went to work. He was very much part of the fire brigade from that point on. They have a number of qualities that are absolutely vital to what we do.
The dogs themselves are known as a hydrocarbon detector dog. They are looking for the presence of ignitable liquids and solids. The dogs, with their keen sense of smell, can identify that rapidly.
So we have a wooden stirring stick, so you'll put a little bit of paraffin on the stick and then I'll go and hide it. And Simba's job is to find it. Even if I place it down, he's seen where it's been put, he will still use his nose to look for it. So he will trust his nose first. The best part of the search is not finding it, it's the searching for it. If you look at his tail, when he's searching, that's when it's moving the fastest. So the rule of a dog's tail never lies always applies. And as soon as he finds it, he gives you the ball back and he wants to go find the next one. He always amazes me still sometimes when I think, oh, it's going to take us a few minutes to do this. And within seconds, Simba's found it. He's a very, very unique dog. What Simba's in now is mainly what he wear in a fire. So these are boots to protect his paws from sharps. They're not fireproof because he doesn't go into a hot fire scene. But it's important that his paws are safe from kind of metal or broken glass. We go absolutely everywhere together, so we genuinely are a team. We're on duty half the time and then are available in case there's an incident. Whenever we're working, I don't really need to tell Simba what to do because he's already second guessed. He also works as a bit of an unofficial therapy dog as well. Some of the work we do may not be particularly pleasant, and the one great thing that he does, he actually supports our other fire investigators. He's always there, he's genuinely one of the team. He's emotionally intelligent as well, so I always like telling the story of Simba's first shout, and we were called to investigate an arson. He did indicate a number of areas where an accelerant had been used. The sad thing was the owner of the house, she was pregnant. She was really, really upset, but Simba's mood changed immediately. He went from being really excited to really calm. He went straight over to her, laid his head on her lap, and he allowed her to stroke him for, I think it was nearly 20 minutes. At the most serious of incidents, he does really calm people down. Simba is the perfect dog for the role. You've heard the term, if you find a job you love, you'll never work another day in your life. He's got a job that he loves. Every dog's a hero, but the only difference is that Simba's been given the opportunity to do a really important job, and that's what makes him a hero.
We're not heroes. I help people in my job, I help people doing this. We're not heroes. My name is Peter Lewin. I'm a paramedic for East Midlands Ambulance Service. I also run Pete Lewin Newfoundlands. We take people swimming in open water with the dogs for emotional support. Right, grab a dog. This is Bob. Bob is our non-swimmer. Bob is our mascot dog. Storm, he's very needy. Sonar, he'll swim his heart out for you. And Walker, he's been given to us by the American Foundation for Prevention of Suicide. We'll have a bit of a swim across, like normal. We get the guys to swim out with us, and I'll call one of the dogs out. Say Sonar, and all you can hear is Sonar blowing out of his nose as he's swimming by. It's just peace and quiet and takes you away from the stress of everything that we go through. We've been doing a lot of work this last summer with the East Midlands Ambulance Service. As you can imagine, it's been quite a tough time for all of us. It's okay not to be okay, and who helps those that are helping the others? Not just paramedics and ambulance staff, but the nurses, everybody else who's there to help them.
I did a staff wellbeing day here. When I did the quiet swim, I got extremely emotional. When I finished it, I cried. And then Sonar just sat with me for the whole day then. Just give me a little nudge every now and again. When you're in the water, you just get that element of, it makes you just feel great.
You see, we were never ever going to get used for real rescue in this country, unfortunately. And I'd sort of developed different manoeuvres for getting people out of the water. But these moves are not just for real rescue. These are great for emotional support, because as I've got that person in that hold, it's giving that confidence that somebody's there for them. We are physically rescuing them, but it's more so mentally rescuing them. There's 3 people around that would tell you that they're here today because of swimming with ease, which is an amazing thing to do. I go into schools and I do water safety workshops. The girl who helped me with that from the start, she absolutely loved it. We're having a discussion around at her house about what we're going to do. She says to me, do you remember I was late coming to give you a hand with your training session? I says, yeah, I do. And she says, well, I was going to take an overdose that day, but I decided I'd go and help you out because of the dogs and that. And she said it was his eyes, the way they look at you. He wasn't there to judge, he wasn't there to criticise, condemn or anything. All he wanted to do was come out and take me back to shore. She said that was it. And she's still here today because of that swim. And I just thought, yeah, that's pretty powerful. It makes me feel proud, passionate about what we're doing, proud of the team, proud of these boys. To have that ability to help people, it's just amazing. My pets are helping these people. It's amazing.
I couldn't see my girls' faces. I felt like my world was crumbling. It was like my eyes were closed. I was then matched with Milo. It was one of the happiest days of my life. Milo's a hero because he's given me my life back. He's enabled me to be a dad again to my girls and to be a husband again to my wife. I first lost my sight 3 years ago. It happened when I was at work. I used to work on a farm. I've got a condition called diabetic retinopathy, which is when blood vessels grow into the back of the eye and then they can leak into your eye, obscuring the vision. I had a bleed in my eye. My wife Amanda picked me up and I never went back to the farm. I went into a very dark place which I never want to go in again. Being trapped in 4 walls, not being able to go out, I was petrified.
I would say he hadn't just lost his sight, I think he just lost himself, if that makes sense. We're not afraid to talk about it now, but he'd often cry at night because life had changed for him and he had to adapt and learn things all over again. So yeah, it was tough.
Now in my left eye, I can't see nothing at all. And in my right eye, I can see blurry shapes. I wouldn't go anywhere without Milo, and Milo doesn't go anywhere without me. He's enabled me to go out independently, confidently, knowing that I'm going to be safe. I felt an instant connection with Milo. As soon as he put his chin on my knee, as soon as he gave me his paw, it was amazing. Milo's looking out for dangers, he's looking out for curbs, cars, anything ahead of me that I can't see. Milo will find a bench as well, so if I asked him to find a bench, he will take me straight to a bench and put his chin on it. It's like I've got my eyes when I've got Milo. I just feel so safe with him. There's a few moments Milo has actually saved my life. We were at a crossing and I'd pushed a button and the beepers had just gone off, so I asked Milo to go forward and Milo didn't move. He was like he was concrete to the ground. 2 cars sped past through the crossing as the beepers were going. A couple of seconds later, while we were walking up the street, a police car sped past after these 2 cars. If we'd have walked forward, me and Milo would have both been hit by these cars, and it was that fast. And Milo didn't move, he kept me safe. He used his eyes, his instincts, and he saved my life. Every day, I put my life in Milo's paws. He's everything, not just to me, to my whole family.
And people see Scott or other people walking with a guide dog and they just think, oh, that's just their aid. But no, he's far much more than that. He really is. I feel like Milo is my hero as well. He's given me my husband back, you know. He's given the children that dad figure back.
He helps my dad, and not just my dad, everyone, and he makes them all happy.
He's like become a lot happier because he's got a lot more freedom now.
He helps him when he's like crossing the roads. He's soft, he's cuddly, perfectly neat.
I can be happy again now, and it gives me a real sense of purpose. I'm now at college, studying counselling. I would never have had the confidence to go to college if it wasn't for Milo. He helps me with my anxiety if I do start to panic slightly. I really want to use the skills that I'm going to learn because of Milo to help other people that are in my position. Milo's given me my sight back. He's given me a vision. He's given me everything, and I can't thank him enough.
We rescued Chewy at 12 weeks of age. He was found abandoned with his litter mates, his brother and sister, in a garden. They were tied in a bag. They'd got duct tape around their paws, their mouths. Never really identified who'd abandoned the pups. The lady whose garden it was found them, thank goodness, took them to her vet. They put a post on their Facebook page with like, oh my goodness, look at these little puppies, they'll be looking for their homes. So I went down on the train and met him, brought him back first class. The train was actually 15 minutes late leaving Preston because all the Virgin train crew wanted their photograph taken with him. And he's been with us ever since. When we adopted him, we decided that we'd give something back. In 2019, I read a report on Facebook about a puppy that had been found buried alive, very close to where we are now. He was actually sitting on my knee when I read the article, and it just rang so many bells that there, but for the grace of God, for the want of an expression, that could have been him. Unfortunately, his injuries were too severe, he had to be put to sleep. And I thought, do you know what, this little dog just deserves to be forever remembered by this town. As a permanent memorial to Shiloh, we planted a tree for him because it's just continually going to grow, it's going to change as he would have done. So one of the reasons why we selected this tree is because it's an evergreen, so it's almost like a symbol of eternity. So yeah, this is the tree we planted for Shiloh. When we first got Chewy, we decided that we'd actually teach him to do CPR on one of our other dogs, just purely as a trick. And that actually proved quite useful, probably coming up for about 2 years ago now, where he effectively saved my husband's life. Ray's got quite advanced multiple sclerosis, he's wheelchair bound, struggles very much with his speech now, but it's almost like he's found a way to communicate with Chewy and Chewy's found a way to communicate with him. He's always got one eye on Ray and what Ray's doing. It's just like he's his soulmate. I was actually out in the garden. The two bigger dogs were upstairs. He was with Ray. I've heard him barking, and his barking got more and more frantic. Luckily, the French doors were open. I think if the doors had been shut, I probably wouldn't have heard him. I've come into the house, and Chewy was licking his face, jumping on his chest, licking his face, and I thought, oh my goodness, you know, just what's going on? Ray had actually stopped breathing, and then suddenly his heart stopped. I managed to get him onto the floor, did some CPR on him while talking to an ambulance crew, and Chewy never left his side. It was almost like he was making sure that I was doing everything right. And every day that passes now, I just thank whatever's upstairs that we've got him, because without him, I wouldn't have my husband. We're celebrating 30 years of marriage this year, and it's all thanks to this little guy. Hey. Sorry. With Chewy, apart from what he did for Ray, he's just such a special little soul. You know, his life could have been so much different. His life could have been so tragic. He's just had such a huge impact on both our lives. It's just amazing.
lives from the war. We're fundraising to help dogs during this humanitarian crisis. Together, the Kennel Club Charitable Trust and the Kennel Club have donated £50,000 to the appeal. And ladies and gentlemen, here today, you can help make a difference. Every single penny that you can donate, no matter how large or small that donation is, will help make a difference. You can donate now by going to the Kennel Club Charitable Trust website, which is kennelclubcharitabletrust.org/support-dogs-Ukraine. Head online and donate however much you can. There are also donation points on all of the Kennel Club stands around the show this year. And as I said, this is all with the Kennel Club Charitable Trust, and every single penny has been ring-fenced and will go towards the Ukrainian appeal. If you've already made a donation, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, are we ready for some rescue dog agility? Ladies and gentlemen, please give a very warm Crufts welcome to our rescue dog agility demonstration team. I'm going to hand you over to the
Welcome back to
Val.
Crufts then, and the rescue dog agility. Can't wait for this. This is a display to highlight the fantastic work and the success stories of some of the UK's dog rescue organisation. It's a very special event you're going to see unfold in front of us. I've got our agility expert, Graham Partridge, alongside me. Graham, what are you expecting to see here?
Thanks very much, Ali. Nice to see you. What am I expecting to see? I'm expecting to see some agility, hopefully. And those, the purists amongst you, don't hold your hopes up too far. But this is all about the dogs. But what you will see is probably a little bit of mayhem. And you will certainly see some dogs competing here who are having the time of their life. They've been rescued from the fantastic rescue organisations. They've fallen on their feet. They're being loved. And they're in the main arena at Crufts. And they're going to have a great time.
Yep, and there are 5 rescue organisations represented here at Crufts for this particular display. And the first represents the National Animal Welfare Trust. And this is Bev Northey with the Collie Cross Jemima. So lining themselves up at the start of this course. And Jemima is a Collie Cross Hunterweight, 4 years old. Strong start here for Jemima. What is key, Graham, to working with a rescue dog in agility? Missed a couple of weaves, goes back. Look at that technique.
Well, the key is just doing something with your dog. It could be another activity, it could be obedience, could be working trials. This is an agility display, but I always say, if you've got a mentally tired dog, a physically tired dog, you've got a dog that's much easier to live with. But I know Bev, she's from Cornwall, where I'm from. And she competes regularly, so I expect that she's going to finish off in some style here.
Fabulous work. So Jemima was rehomed to Bev when she was just 18 months old, so she's been with her for some time now. And beforehand, Bev did say that Jemima barks for fun, and we certainly heard a bit of that on the way round. Thoroughly enjoying herself.
Exactly, they're entitled to. We'll let them off on this one.
So next out is Dieter, the German Shepherd, alongside Doug Lewis. Doug, somebody you also know, Graham.
Yes, Doug, Doug, he says he's representing the over 40s out there today, but he said he didn't care. He said he loves his dogs, and he just loves doing agility. He's a member of Thames Dog Training Club in Berkshire, a very active member there, and he's just really proud to be representing the rescue organisations on display here.
And Dieter was rescued from Val Gray's Border Collie and Animal Rescue. He was on the streets of Croydon before finding shelter at Val Gray's, and then came into Doug's life in September 2012 when just 7 months old. And it's quite amusing because Dieter said that, well, Doug said that Dieter decided that Doug belonged to him. So I think you can tell really who's in charge out of this partnership.
I think that was actually Doug's wife who's in charge of the partnership, but no, just as I say, he's really pleased to be here.
This is always a popular event to watch because the dogs have such character, such a bond with their owners because of their background and the way their owners have managed to form, you know, such a bond and improve these dogs' lives, and then in return the dogs improve the lives of their owners.
Some of them have had a really atrocious start in life, and I'm not going to go through them, but they've been taken in by the rescue organisations, and these people that you see running them today have been and chosen the dog after very careful consultation with the rescue organisations. They've decided that they can give these dogs a home, and they, as I said earlier, they've fallen on their feet. They just have the best time.
Well, Diamond is getting underway and run by Sharon Can. 12-year-old Staffy, an excitable dog, and Sharon has said, you know, been challenging to train because of the background from when Diamond came into her life.
Yes, it is very difficult. As you say, Diamond wants to be with Sharon, but that's a really, really good thing. You know, they've formed this bond. She is a little bit frustrating. They come from Cornwall again. They used to train with me, so I know this pairing very well. The sweetest dog you could imagine.
Missed the A-frame, recovered well, full of delight, wanting to complete the course. There we go. You see the understanding between the two. And Diamond from the National Animal Welfare Trust. Great work. That was a popular round for the crowd here. The National Animal Welfare Trust, one of the UK's top animal welfare charities, and they've got 5 rehoming centres across the south of England: Berkshire, Bedfordshire, Cornwall, Essex and Hertfordshire. And they celebrated their 50th anniversary last year. Well, here's an energetic entry from Jess and Wendy Nixon. Jess the collie from Valgrays again, full of energy. This looks like it could be a very quick round here, Graham.
Hopefully, if those of you at home, if you can see any numbers next to the obstacles, we normally put them in the correct order, but these are set up for a later part of the display. You get the idea of where they're supposed to be going, so let's just see how she gets on with this A-frame. Strictly speaking, you should touch the white bits on the way up and on the way down. Perfectly done.
Brilliant agility, brilliant pace. Wow, that was fabulous. 5 years old, Jess arrived with Wendy when she was just 9 months. And Wendy said she was very undernourished when she arrived with her, had to really teach her how to trust it and indeed how to play. And a lot of agility, Graham, the training based around play and enjoyment and fun.
All about repetition and reward. There's no force used in any agility training, and I'll talk a bit more about that in just a minute.
Here's another collie cross. This is another Jess alongside Kat, and they're representing the Happily Ever After dog rescue.
It's all right, we're just having a little check of the audience there just to see whether everyone's watching her, you know, how well she's going to do. So
didn't fancy that first pole, the weaves. There we go, a little bit of encouragement. Not so bad after all. Through the tunnel. There we go, now the tunnel. How would Jess take on the A-frame? Oh yes, makes it. A few more jumps to go. Full of eagerness. Last you go. Lovely stuff, good recovery. But most importantly, it's about having the fun out there and showing what these rescue dogs can do.
Exactly, it's not about perfection, it's about cementing and establishing the bond between owner and dog, and just making the dog's life just that little bit better.
Another collie is 3-year-old Megan, and Jodie Parry is representing Valgrays again. And Valgrays is founded in 1978 and doing great work for a long time. It's a very tiny rescue, isn't it, based around Val's own property in Surrey. Oh, deciding to take on the tunnel. Yeah, look at the speed over the jump, almost overrunning herself. Just such is the eagerness and the pace. Fast and frenetic. The crowd are loving it.
I'm going to convert you into an agility addict here soon. So yeah, no, it is great fun. The dogs enjoy it. They love it. As I say, they're having a great time.
And the crowd have really enjoyed that one. And Kat says that Megan hopes to compete a little bit more in the future. Rescued from Ireland as a puppy. There's Megan.
So this is Lorna Goodban, someone who's a regular on the agility circuit. Or having said that, she just decides she's going to go straight past the weaving poles, but that's fine. We'll gloss over that one.
Great turn of speed. goes Molly. She's 3 years old. I'll tell you what, Lorna is having to work just as hard to keep up with that. And it's that closeness, isn't it, to the dog, physically wise, to be able to instruct them over the jumps.
If you're looking to be really good competitively with the dogs, the closer you can be to the dog when it's doing an obstacle, the less of a chance of a mistake, yeah.
Anubis comes out. Podenco with Sally, another representative of the Happily Ever After rescue centre. And they don't have kennels. The dogs are cared for in the home by Kieran Adams and her family, or they're placed in foster homes.
Here we go. This is more like it. This is what we want from Rescue Dog Agility.
I'm just going to enjoy this arena. This is my time to shine. A few laps. Well, I think we need to find an athletics track and have the 400 metres. Much more suitable.
I think she said, why should I come back when I'm getting everybody laughing at me and I am just the centre of attention? And that's really great. Are we coming back? Yes, I think we are. We might even get a treat in a minute. Yep. Well done. So.
Crowd favourite.
Oh, come on, bring her back in. Bring her back in. Come on.
More. The crowd want more. Oh, well done, Anubis. No, didn't fancy the first one. I see this lovely big space, and that means I can just have a good old run around. Daisy and Julian. Daisy, the collie cross, and Julian looking after another dog from Valgraves, 5.5-year-old crossbreed. Needs a little bit of encouragement here. Do I like that? Yes.
And I think probably one of the things we should just point out as well, making it even more special for these dogs, is that they will never have seen probably artificial grass. They'll have never have been in an atmosphere. So it's a fantastic test of their temperament and the confidence that they now possess. So.
Yeah. Sometimes things on the floor smell a little bit more interesting than the tunnel. And the other thing, these dogs probably haven't done much training, what with lockdown and probably wouldn't have been around many shows. So the bright lights and the crowd, there's so many interesting things going on.
Yeah, as I say, these dogs, apart from last year or the year before when they were here, won't have been in this type of atmosphere at all. So.
Oh, come on, Daisy, yes.
Did you see? Did you see? Look, I'm going to do the jump. Look, I'll just
wait for it. Yes. Worth noting that Julian himself had retired from agility. So not only has he had a very short time to train up Daisy, he says he's only had a very short time to actually train himself back up to do agility.
We're a bit keen to get going now, this lab, I tell you.
Oh, this is Elsa. Alongside Hayley, Elsa was rescued from Wood Green, of course, such a famous animal shelter. There we go, just displaying sniffer abilities. Now, do we like the tunnel? We like the tunnel. There we go.
Best way to motivate, sorry Ali, best way to motivate a Labrador is food, definitely. I've been there, done that.
There's going to be a big treat at the end here for Elsa, who's 8.5 years old for a Labrador. It was very exuberant, Haley says, when she was rehomed at just 18 months. Come on, Elsa.
So I think up and over that A-frame in a blink of an eye. There we go, up. And oh, and that's
airborne.
Well, where's the bottom gone? Yeah,
it's what you call a flying round.
I think so.
Well, we'll see the jumps be lowered now for the final group of dogs to go over this course. So probably got a moment, Graham, just to reflect on, how important it is to take on rescue dogs, but more importantly, what if you're someone thinking about taking on a rescue dog, what should you be bearing in mind?
Well, I think the first thing you should do is you should discuss it with the rest of your family, make sure that you can actually accommodate within your family, and then I would go to your nearest rescue centre and speak to the people in charge and discuss what the best type of dog for you would be and whether there's any associated problems, etc. So definitely do think about going and supporting one of your rescue organisations and giving one of these dogs a fantastic new home.
I can tell you, Bear the Pomeranian is already a crowd favourite. Oohs and ahs of appreciation as Bear started this round, 4 years old. Look at the way she's covering the ground, eating up the arena. And actually a bit of fame behind this dog as well. Done adverts for the Great British Bake Off.
Yep, I didn't see it myself, but yeah, no, they say they get involved in all sorts of things, and again, it's just another test of the dog's confidence. They've got cameras in front of them and all things, so it's just testament to the training that they've received in its new home.
And Bear, who we just saw, he actually runs agility at grade 6. A very accomplished round we just saw. Lightning from Happily Ever After is with Bridget, and Lightning is 7 years old, picked off the streets of Romania at 2 years old, brought to the UK and soon started a much happier life with Bridget and full of exuberance going around the course.
Yes, they do love it. It's one of these things that I don't know why they just love doing things, but it's repetition and reward, and the dog is doing something with its owner, which always is really good.
Huge amount of air going over those jumps. With such a small frame dog, it's an absolute delight to see. That was a very popular performance as well.
It was very nice. Been proud of that in any agility competition.
Time for the terrier. This is Bilbo and Peter from Battersea Cats and Dogs Home, who care for thousands of dogs and cats every year. And it's established back in 1860, Battersea. Moved to South London in 1871 and has remained on the same site in Battersea until today.
Oh, well, I mean, we're shooting around this course now. Can we get we'll do a bit of agility commentary now. Can we get a tight turn around that jump? Yes, we can. She's into the tunnel, out of that and up and over the A-frame in the blink of an eye. Back into that tunnel. Come on.
Just a few more jumps now for Bilbo to clear. Sharp turning, short legs. Over the last and safely. That was fantastic, Graham.
30 seconds, there we are, and the winner is, and I've got my toy and you're not having it. Oh, yes you are. And that, serious illustration, that's what it's about. It's repetition and reward, and that is the reward for the dog, getting that toy. Oh, look at this.
Betty the toy poodle. Again, I think the arena has just melted. Betty's having none of it though. Far more interesting sniffing at socks.
Just leave him alone. He's the agility judge for later. A suckle there. Put your leg on the red.
Well, that has been known to happen before. Betty came into Wood Green as a 10-week-old puppy. Clears the first. All the weaves. I mean, for those little legs, this is a long course to get around. Oh, here we go. Now, what do we think of the tunnel? Looks a bit dark to me. Oh, in the tunnel, out and out the tunnel. Big leap. Those jumps must look absolutely enormous to Betty. Nope, not meant to go in there. Where are you, Betty? There's Betty.
Is she going to go? No, too high.
Let's just not worry about that.
Just do heights, that dog.
I mean, that's like the Eiffel Tower to Betty, that A-frame. Tunnel, in the tunnel, back out the tunnel, yes. Over the jump, huge leap. No, missed that one.
Getting tired now. I think I've had enough.
Time for a treat. Yes, and a cuddle. Our real crowd favourite. Betty first appeared at Crufts 2 years ago in the rescue agility, so second time of pleasing the crowd here. But just look at this, ears flapping. Such enthusiasm when she goes for it.
Do I have to do that again?
Oh, well done, Betty. The super mix of Cocker Spaniel, Poodle and Westie. Right, Neve is a 5-year-old cockapoo and putting on a real turn of pace here, Graham.
Yep, I think we need to get the clock on this one again, up in the gantry there. Look at this.
Eating up that carpet, over the jump. Real sharp turn to get back through the tunnel. A-frame, up, over safely, makes good contact as well, through the tunnel. Flying over these final jumps. Just a couple more to go. Brilliant performance from Neve, the cockapoo from Battersea.
28 seconds, well, and I've just realised that that's A.B. Lawson, who is a regular agility competitor, but nevertheless, that was absolutely fantastic. And there she goes, her toy. Well done.
On comes Teddy then, the Spaniel, alongside Carrie, representing Wood Green Animal Shelter again. And Teddy is 6 years old, was found as a stray with another dog and taken to Wood Green. And it says on my notes, Graham, that Teddy loves to follow his nose, which he was seeing a good example of. Oh, hello, cup of coffee maybe? Oh, yes, well, that carpet just feels too good. Here we go. Over the second then. Where are we going to go now? Who can we sniff? Who can we explore? We'll take the jump. Maybe start again. No. Don't fancy those weaves. They don't always look that appealing, do they?
They're far too difficult. They're actually probably seriously one of the most difficult things to teach is the weaving poles. But we don't need to do them not in this competition, we don't.
Well, I think around the tunnel, it's an inventive way of navigating it. Yes, come out the other side. Oh, the crowd are really warming to this performance. We're going to do the tunnel. Let's just do the A-frame. Or we'll go under the A-frame.
Under's easier. Trust me.
Oh, there we go. Big cheer for making it over the A-frame, through the tunnel. We're getting towards the final few fences of this course now. Final few jumps. Just wants a good reward. Look at that tail wagging. Absolutely loving it out there, Teddy. Last one. Doesn't matter what direction you go over. Oh, that's a rapturous round of applause for Teddy, and why not?
Less. And I've got a working Cocker Spaniel myself, and they just look at you and you just melt. It's just that the eyes definitely have it.
Here's another popular one, the Jack Russell Fergus. Something tells me, Graham, he's not going to have too many difficulties going over these jumps.
No, I think my money would be on the dog as well, really, so...
Here we go. Joe is with Fergus, and Fergus is representing Wood Green again. Oh, look at this. He's a showman, isn't he, Fergus? Enjoying the crowd looking at him, and dealt with those weaves pretty well. We go through the tunnel. The other side. Yeah, very interested in the treat at the end of this.
I suspect that the handler might actually have some food in his hand, but it's allowed in this demo, so we're not worrying about it, and that's what it's all about.
Thing is that, are we going to see the handler? Are we going to see Joe go up the A-frame? No, not necessary. That would have been something to see. Come on then, Fergus. Nearly finished the course. That treat is not too far away. One to go.
Oh, now we get the toy comes out.
The reward.
You've done what I wanted you to do. There's your reward. You can have it, and he's going to kill that. What is it? Is it a chicken? No, it's not. What is it? I think it's a squeaky chicken. Nothing better than a bit of squeaky chicken.
Oh, now I've got it. I'll just stay out here, thank you. Everyone can watch me play with my chicken.
Well, he probably knows that if he goes back, then he's going to lose the chicken. I think that's probably the...
There we go. Happily following Joe up in the end. Something tells me that might not be the last we see of Fergus in this arena. Here's Ellie, the collie, alongside Marion O'Neill, representing Valgraves. And Ellie is 9 years old, a trained agility dog but doesn't compete anymore. So she's got some past experience, but perhaps not the same turn of speed that Ellie might have had in yesteryear, but still familiar with these. Look at that. Take your time. Correctness over speed.
And it really is a sport for all dogs, really. You don't have to be at the top end where, some of the competitions we're seeing here. But if you've got a dog and you fancy having a go at agility, it doesn't have to be a rescue dog, and it's not a big dog, just over minute little jumps. Just interact, get out there, get your bum off your seat, go and have fun with your dog. That's what it's all about.
What's a good way of even just starting? Can you just set up a jump in your back garden?
The perfect way to start is to actually go and find a registered dog training club on the Kennel Club website. You'll make sure that they're properly insured, you'll get properly qualified trainers, and that'll be the best start for you.
In comes Sue into the arena alongside Lollipop, who is the Corgi Collie Cross, and we've seen Sue at Crufts here before. And Graham, she's a regular on the agility circuit, Sue.
Yes, she is. Sue's the rescue organisations there, although I think we're just going to have an inspect of the red carpet for a minute. Are we going to do some work here, Mum, or are we not going to do some work? Oh, what do you think? So, and obviously Sue has to be very careful because, you know, she's in a chair, motorised chair, so it's actually testament to her really, really good training that she, that the dog knows that it's not to come near the chair, because otherwise we could have an accident, and we don't want that at all.
Waiting for her instructions, Lollipop. This goes to show how agility is open to everybody. And Sue's got to have a real particular skill set. Yeah, there's a bit of interesting stuff on that carpet, I think. It's taking Lollipop's attention. Oh dear, here we go. Here we go.
Now, we did just have a quick discussion about this earlier on, didn't we? So, welcome to the world of dogs, Ali. All right, so
look.
a dog, what we always say is a dog will do what a dog wants to do, and if you've got to go, you've got to go, and it's the excitement, probably.
Well, they do say at Crufts, every dog has its day. And Lollipop certainly making her mark.
Now we're going to go a little bit quicker because we're a little bit lighter as well, so.
It's a very good point you make. Look at this, careful work, that is beautiful through those weaving poles. Now the tunnel is next.
A bit of an argument going on here.
Come on, through the tunnel. No, I don't want to, Mum, I don't want to. Here we go, a jump. Yeah, she knows it's there, Lollipop. Turn around. That's it. Made it. Always waiting for the next direction. Yeah, there's a treat to be had as well. That's it, through the tunnel. A-frame is next. Yeah, we'll follow that direction, that's the way. You make that touch pad at the bottom, yet the contact point. Now she's getting into a bit of a rhythm. Another jump to go. That'll do.
Doesn't matter which direction, no, that's fine.
And you can hear the verbal directions from Sue as well, so the hand motions and verbal cues.
Well, we're not looking for somewhere else to go, are we?
I'll stand by, folks. I think if memory serves me correctly, Lollipop did similar at Crufts in 2020. Becoming a habit.
Yeah, well, probably not the first time, but look at her shaking her head at him, said, "What have you just done? You've made me look at, you know, proper ninny in the ring," but that's not what it's about. As I say, she's been here, done it, so and it's a really nice demonstration.
And now here's everybody that we've just seen over the largest jumps to the lowest jumps, and all these rescue dogs from Happily Ever After, from the National Animal Welfare Trust, from Wood Green Animal Shelter, Battersea Cats and Dogs Home, and Valgray's Border Collie and Animal Rescue. So all these organisations doing fabulous work, some on a bigger scale than others, and of course so many of them rely on generous donations to keep them going and give dogs just like this good homes and wonderful warm futures.
And I think probably the dog, don't always think about getting a puppy to start with. Think seriously about going along to your local rescue centre and having a look at the dogs and discussing the feasibility and the practicality of helping one of these dogs. And if you can make a little contribution on the way, I'm sure a lot of these organisations will be very, very, very grateful.
Well, Lollipop will be the last to leave the arena and having the time of life out there. Well done to everybody who has taken part. We were able to chat to some of the handlers and see some of the dogs backstage, and they're saying, yeah, the most important thing is that they are all here, and a lot of them hadn't had a chance to do much agility or much training at all in the lead up, but you just see how much keeping that dog occupied and having a healthy mind and keeping it very active is all part of having a healthy dog, and a fit dog can be part of the family.
Right, well, thank you very much indeed, Ali. Really great demonstration there from Rescue Dogs.
Coming up next, more agility. That'll be more from Graham, and Jim Rosenthal will be with you.
It's obviously hard as a parent to see your child in pain. Ruby would actually go on Olivia's bed and tuck herself into where Olivia's pain were, and that would probably be the only time when she would actually settle and feel a bit more relaxed. I think without Ruby, we would have, struggled even more to see Olivia suffer like she did. Olivia's got cerebral palsy. She's non-verbal, but even though she's non-verbal, she has a wicked sense of humour. She's laughing at me now. As soon as we got Ruby, she immediately went straight underneath Olivia's wheelchair. In fact, when she was a puppy, she used to actually be on Olivia's knee in the wheelchair. So yeah, the bond was from the beginning, from when she was a puppy. I think without Ruby, I think there'd be a big void in Olivia's life. She does play a massive part in Olivia's life. She gives them more confidence. During COVID, she's been a fantastic companion for her. She helps her with her physio. She's not a trained therapy dog, but she does do quite a lot of therapies with Olivia through play and a physiotherapy. Like with Olivia's athetoid movements, she seems to be able to make her quite still. She just assists her where she can, and I think she gives her a lot of emotional support as well. Stretch your arms up, stretch both arms up in the air. Olivia likes the cuddles because she gets to give Ruby a proper cuddle in this way, don't you? Olivia just loves it. She just loves the affection. I think with Ruby, she's just got a bond that just can't be broken, really.
Because of Ruby, we're able to get outside in the fresh air and throw a few balls or go for a walk. It's difficult for her to interact in some ways, but just finding little ways that you can get her involved and playing with Ruby is a great way of doing that. So it's been really good for Olivia's sort of health and well-being, really, just having Ruby around and being able to get out of the house. Which you enjoy, don't you? Yeah.
We're not always able to do things that other families can do, but Ruby brings a lot to the family, and she's just made family life and Olivia's life complete, really. So in our eyes, she is a hero.
Everyone loves Simba. He's either bouncing off the walls or he's asleep. He is a very, very friendly dog. He loves people. There's not many dogs like him in the country. We're a very small team that supports all of the London Fire Brigade. Our job is to investigate fires to determine their cause and origin, and we have our dogs to support us. Simba's an English Springer Spaniel. We got him when he was a year old. I picked him up in Birmingham, and the very next day we went to work. He was very much part of the fire brigade from that point on. They have a number of qualities that are absolutely vital to what we do.
The dogs themselves are known as a hydrocarbon detector dog. They are looking for the presence of ignitable liquids and solids. The dogs, with their keen sense of smell, can identify that rapidly.
So we have a wooden stirring stick, so you'll put a little bit of paraffin on the stick and then I'll go and hide it. And Simba's job is to find it. Even if I place it down, he's seen where it's been put, he will still use his nose to look for it. So he trust his nose first. The best part of the search is not finding it, it's the searching for it. If you look at his tail, when he's searching, that's when it's moving the fastest. So the rule of a dog's tail never lies always applies. and as soon as he finds it, he gives you the ball back and he wants to go find the next one. He always amazes me still sometimes when I think, oh, it's going to take us a few minutes to do this, and within seconds, Simba's found it. He's a very, very unique dog. What Simba's in now is mainly what he wear in a fire, so these are boots to protect his paws from sharps. They're not fireproof because he doesn't go into a hot fire scene, but it's important that his paws are safe from kind of metal or broken glass. We go absolutely everywhere together, so we genuinely are a team. We're on duty half the time and then are available in case there's an incident. Whenever we're working, I don't really need to tell Simba what to do because he's already second guessed. He also works as a bit of an unofficial therapy dog as well. Some of the work we do may not be particularly pleasant, and the one great thing that he does, he actually supports our other fire investigators. He's always there, he's genuinely one of the team. He's emotionally intelligent as well, so I always like telling the story of Simba's first shout, and we were called to investigate an arson. He did indicate a number of areas where an accelerant had been used. The sad thing was the owner of the house, she was pregnant. She was really, really upset. From being really excited to really calm, he went straight over to her, laid his head on her lap, and he allowed her to stroke him for, I think it was nearly 20 minutes. At the most serious of incidents, he does really calm people down. Simba is the perfect dog for the role. You've heard the term, if you find a job you love, you'll never work another day in your life. He's got a job that he loves. Every dog's a hero, but the only difference is that Simba's been given the opportunity to do a really important job, and that's what makes him a hero.
We're not heroes. I help people in my job, I help people doing this. We're not heroes. My name is Peter Lewin. I'm a paramedic for East Midlands Ambulance Service. I also run Pete Lewin Newfoundlands. We take people swimming in open water with the dogs for emotional support. Right, grab a dog. This is Bob. Bob is our non-swimmer. Bob is our mascot dog. Storm, he's very needy. Sonar, he'll swim his heart out for you. And Walker, he's been given to us by the American Foundation for Prevention of Suicide. We'll have a bit of a swim across, like normal. We get the guys to swim out with us, and I'll call one of the dogs out. Say Sonar, and all you can hear is Sonar blowing out of his nose as he's swimming by. It's just peace and quiet and takes you away from the stress of everything that we go through. We've been doing a lot of work this last summer with the East Midlands Ambulance Service. As you can imagine, it's been quite a tough time for all of us. It's okay not to be okay, and who helps those that are helping the others? Not just paramedics and ambulance staff, but the nurses, everybody else who's there to help them.
I did a staff wellbeing day here. When I did the quiet swim, I got extremely emotional. When I finished it, I cried. And then Sonar just sat with me for the whole day then. Just give me a little nudge every now and again. When you're in the water, you just get that element of, it makes you just feel great.
You see, we were never ever going to get used for real rescue in this country, unfortunately. And I'd sort of developed different manoeuvres for getting people out of the water. But these moves are not just for real rescue. These are great for emotional support, because as I've got that person in that hold, it's giving that confidence that somebody's there for them. We are physically rescuing them, but is it more so mentally rescuing them? There's 3 people around that would tell you that they're here today because of swimming with ease, which is an amazing thing to do. I go into schools and I do water safety workshops. The girl who helped me with that from the start, she absolutely loved it. We're having a discussion around at her house about what we're going to do. She says to me, "Do you remember I was late coming to give you a hand with your training session?" I says, "Yeah, I do." And she says, "Well, I was going to take an overdose that day." But I decided I'd go and help you out because of the dogs and that. And she said it with his eyes, the way they look at you. He wasn't there to judge, he wasn't there to criticise, condemn or anything. All he wanted to do was come out and take me back to shore. She said that was it. And she's still here today because of that swim. And I just thought, yeah, that's pretty powerful. It makes me feel proud, passionate about what we're doing, proud of the team, proud of these boys. To have that ability to help people, it's just amazing. My pets are helping these people. It's amazing.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you have a fantastic day at Crufts 2022. It is so good to be back here in the NEC. Welcome everyone to the packed afternoon here in the main arena. As you see, the agility course is set. Kennel Club Agility Crufts single teams will be underway in just a moment. Just a quick announcement, ladies and gentlemen.
Jim Rosenthal and Graham Partridge welcoming you back to the main arena at Crufts 2022. We are all set for the continuation of the Crufts singles. All four heights, a three-part competition, jumping, agility and a final. We've seen the jumping, now it is the agility. They will be combined for a final later on in the afternoon. But they will be running the agility in reverse order from where they finished this morning as well.
Are we ready for some agility?
Graham Partridge alongside me, and we'll get his views on the course very shortly. It's a testing one, Graham, isn't it? I think fair to say.
Yep, it's a little bit different style, but we've got a different judge. We've got Chris Huckle there coming out into the middle of the arena. Very experienced judge, culmination of his judging career. It's a little bit tight in places, but it's perfectly legal, and it's a test, so we'll just see how we get on. I think it's all going to be good, Jim.
First of the large dogs to go, Amanda Ellerton and Bowden, 5-year-old working sheepdog. Bowden's first time competing at Crufts. Big dog, heart of gold, but travels quickly over the ground. An absolute joy to live with. First of 8 large dogs. Over the I-am stand early on, up and down over the A-frame. Good speed at the top of the course there. Seesaw is good as well. There's 3 jumps in very quick order there. Over the dog walk, good speed too. Yep, made contact with the wide at the end of it. Through the weaves, excellent tail wagging through the weaves. A very good start this for Amanda and for Bowden. Through the tyre, tight right-hander at the end. And that is quick and that is clean, and that is 33.9. A fine start for Amanda and for Bowden.
And that's going to certainly put the pressure on everyone else coming after. A really great time.
Nara Cuddy and Lemon in great form from nearby Leamington Spa. 5-year-old Border Collie, amazing dog is Lemon. Last time at Crufts, she won the British Open and has recently won the London International, the large agility stakes.
Fairly straightforward start there, jump into the tunnel. They turn back and up over that A-frame. They're now into the tunnel. They need to steady the dog down. This is a test of control and confidence as they step out now over those 2 jumps. They're fairly close together, but so that's again just testing the dog's perception of where they are. Turn into the weaving pole. So she just hangs back there slightly, waiting for the dog to catch up. She's right there with the dog, fast over the arena. She's got to avoid that tunnel entrance now. Over the spread and over the finish. Oh yeah, there we go.
Number 1 for Nara and for Lemon. We told you that they were in great form, and a terrific high-quality start to this competition. Looking at Costa, 10-year-old working sheepdog, and Dalton Meredith, Costa's second time at Crufts, and Costa retiring from agility after this weekend, determined to enjoy every single second. Dalton Meredith and Costa. Little hesitation there going into the first tunnel. Took that irons jump neatly. Good contact at the bottom of the A-frame as well. Good over the seesaw. Missing, though, the dog walk. And that'll be 5 faults. And now over the dog walk, my mistake, missing the spread there. And eliminated. Just unravelled in that round there, Graham. Missing the spread, elimination.
Yes, ran past it, the culmination of faults there resulting in elimination, but he won't care. Dog's going out on a high. I think this is his last competition here at Crufts, so he'll just have been grateful to be running here at Crufts.
Looking at Rio, 7-year-old working sheepdog, and Stephanie Best won the British Open with Fate on day 1. Through the tunnel under the A-frame, just to clip the I-am's hurdle there, picking up 5 faults in the process. Okay and clean over the spread, just clipped it, in fact, but it stayed all intact over the dog walk. Good speed there, right in front of our commentary position. This weaves, nice style through there, beautifully captured by our cameras as well. Great sound going through the tunnel and the tyre. Now the grand finale. Time is good, 34.4 and just the 5 faults, Graham. 3rd place.
Very nice there, just cutting it too tight, taking the pole off with the shoulder, but other than that, a really nice round there by Stephanie.
Agent, 8-year-old Border Collie, and Sean Illingworth, homebred boy, this one, heart of a lion. And running him on the green carpet, Sean says, is always an exciting experience. Just a little flicker of hesitation there. No damage, though. Very speedily over the A-frame. Great pace. Seesaw, good. and the spread as well. Those tight jumps there. Has to turn very tightly as well. Good contact at the end of the dog walk. What about the weaves? Yep, no problem. And the time is good too. Through the tunnel. The tyre. Quick right-hander. And the finale. 33.5. Second place. Great round.
Sian showing her pedigree, really, her international and domestic pedigree. Very, very nice round there. Brilliantly handled.
Snooze, the Border Collie, and Martin Reed, third in the jumping this morning. Over that U-move jump for starters. Then the A-frame. Far end of the course as we look at it, coming towards us now. A great sight going over that seesaw, barking his way round. Has to enter those weaves from the right. That's the way to do it, Snooze. Martin Reed and Snooze in perfect synchronicity there. Good time as well. Yep, 33.7 for Martin. Top 3 time.
Very nice. Brilliantly handled there. Very quiet partnership this. You don't need to be flashy. You just need to get the job done, which he did. Brilliant.
Second dog for Dalton Meredith. Clippy, 3-year-old Border Collie. Young dog, this one. Dalton having a very, very productive Crufts 2022. So quick. Really have to admire the pace and the accuracy and the control and obedience, of course. Went a little bit wide, flying off the dog walk. Recovered well, though, did Clippy, just 3 years of age. Young dog, doing everything that's being asked of her at the moment. Through the tyre. Great time, this is. Really good. 33.4. Second place.
Brilliant, brilliant. And I think this is a young dog, and he would have just been happy with gaining the experience of being here at Crufts, but he's exceeded his expectations. I think looking forward to a really great final if he makes it.
Last dog in the large jumping, Shannon Springford. Sorry, finished first in the jumping this morning. Last to go in the agility this afternoon. Competed on Thursday with Gift to Shannon. Just looking for something in the 33s and clean to come through later in the afternoon. Bit of a hesitation at the end there of the seesaw. That really is a tight turn from the end of that dog walk to that wall. It's picked up 5 faults along the way. 32.8, quickest of the lot. Shame about the faults.
Yes, just flattened out there over the wall. They say those bricks, you've only got to just breathe on them when they come off. And again, that's for safety, but look at the style in that. Brilliant.
So the 1, 2, 3, Nara Cuddy and Lemon in first place. Dalton Meredith and Clippy and Sian Illingworth and Agent rounding up the top 3. High quality throughout, though. And we're just checking the overall ranking, which of course will be used to decide the final later in the afternoon.
So looking at those rankings, you see that Nara Cuddy finished in 5th place, so she didn't make the top 4, so it's likely because if she won earlier on, she'll be in those in that final this evening. We'll just have to wait and see.
Costa and Matthew Goodliff are off, first of 9 intermediate dogs. Costa down over the seesaw. So moving on to the intermediates now. Matthew Goodliff, senior coach for the GB squad. And a nifty handler in his own right too. Handsome dog. Costa. 35.5 and clear, setting the stand.
Very nice. Matthew will be very, very pleased with that. This is his dog's first time at Crufts, and to get a clear round in a very respectable time, he'll be very pleased with that.
Stephanie Best and Fate, this partnership won the British Open on day one. 5-year-old Border Collie, first dog to become an agility champion for Stephanie. Through the tunnel, over the I-ams, over the A-frame. This is the quickest dog in this section that we have seen, a really, really rapid. Fate again, keeping that pace going, losing nothing in the weaves as well. Low to the ground and carrying a lot of speed. All clean, all clear, 33.2 and faultless for Stephanie. That's number one at the moment.
And this is what we're seeing. We're seeing the best of British agility here. Great demonstration.
Nicola Wildman and Zest, 6-year-old Border Collie. Full on can be a challenge at times for Nicola. Can Zest. Lovely, elegant jumping style over those first two. Tight right-hander over the I-ams, over the U-move at the far end of the course, through the tunnel. Good contact at the end of the seesaw. Excellent over that tight part of the course as well. Flying over the dog walk. We are seeing the best of the best, but just missing the end, I think, of the dog walk there, missing the contact point and picking up faults. And things are unraveling a little bit after that. Problems going into the weaves as well. Terrific start for Nicola. Now has to keep things together. Keep the respectability there. But that is a 6-year-old Zest. Hugely entertaining run.
Jane finishing on 15 faults there. Really quick over the dog walk and quite clearly missing the white contact area, which they must do if they don't want to be faulted.
Tunde Bell and Betty, Border Collie, 6-year-old, this pairing from Watford. Undergoes a dramatic change of personality when she competes, cuddly at home, but goes crazy and gets very competitive on an agility course. Bit of hesitation going into the first tunnel. A-frame, good contact. Oh dear, that's missed the jump there, and that will mean an elimination. And as we so often say, Graham, once something like that happens, and you can forgive, I can anyway, a little bit of lack of concentration and communication perhaps between handler and animal.
Yes, you are. You're at the biggest stage in the world, just about. Something's gone wrong, and you just think, why? But they've done fantastically well to get here, so it is no mean feat to be competing here at Crufts. There are thousands of other dogs wanting to be here. And you see there the elimination. She ran past the jump she was supposed to be doing into the next obstacle, eliminated.
Looking at Image, very successful dog over the years, Border Collie. 10 this month, could be her last. Crufts as well. Handler Sian Illingworth, hugely experienced. Smashing down the seesaw. She's okay. Just the 5 faults. Again, coming off the dog walk. Sian Illingworth. In the top 3 with that. Just check coming off the. Just came off the side of the dog walk and probably didn't make contact at the end. That's the ruling. This is seeing Border Collie, 6 years of age. Alan Wildman, the handler, in good form. These international competitor, Alan Wildman. Very promising combination, this. And they're going to have to be at their very best to go through later on in the afternoon. On you go, Graham.
Hugely competitive, Alan, always there or thereabouts. And I know that he's extremely happy the way this dog's been coming on this year. Nice tight turn over the walls into those weaving poles. Look at the speed of that dog in there, absolutely fantastic. Now, need a tight turn into this tunnel. Now he's going to be calling the dog away across the arena, over the tyre. Now, can he make the spread? Yes, he can. And finish. What a great round that was. 33.548 and clear.
And that is good enough to take Alan Wildman and Zing into second place as things stand. Don't forget, we're going to see the best dogs later on in the afternoon in the grand final. You're looking at Natasha Wise and Pebbles third in the morning's jumping. Pebbles is away. And not hanging around either. Good contact on the A-frame. Great clearance of the U-move jump at the far end of the course. This is looking good for Natasha and for Pebbles. Yep, bit of hesitation, but good contact at the bottom of the dog walk. Weaves. Fine. Through the tunnel, through the time. Right up with the clock as well, right up with it. 32.9, that is number one for Natasha Wise and Pebbles. We will see them later in the afternoon, and don't be surprised if they go all the way. Beautiful images of Pebbles there. Such a popular dog. Deserving every bit of that love and congratulations. This is Stephen Richardson and Gamble, 4-year-old border collie. Penultimate dog, second in the jumping this morning.
Always puts in a competitive round here, Stephen. It's been at the top for a number of years now. Up and over that seesaw, must touch the ground before the dog gets on it. The dog has to shorten up to get those jumps, which it does very nicely indeed. Just going to take it easy now on the dog walk. Oh, a bit too easy, we think, but he's after a clear round here to try and get him into tonight's final, if he can do that. You can't go too slowly, though, because there's a lot of good dogs in this competition. Over the tyre. Now, just one more to go. Brilliant, very nice,
35.2 and into the top four for Stephen Richardson. Clear round applauded by Chris Huckle, our judge. Yeah, that was took it daintily, that dog walk, but kept the round clean and clear. That was what matters. Last competitor, Stephen Seal, first in the jumping, and Fleck, 7-year-old border collie. Really proud that Fleck has qualified for Crufts. Leicester combination, these two. Last dog to go in this section. Flicker of heading for the A-frame, but went safely through the tunnel there, did Fleck. This is tremendous pace. This competition, when we reach the final stage, will be awesome later this afternoon. Great work by Stephen and by Fleck. No hesitation at all on the dog walk. Flying through the weaves. Good quick turns. Not missing anything at all. Through the time. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, my goodness me. Headed for the tunnel. Took a lefty. Should have gone right. What a shame, Graham.
Took a lefty. Well, I think that probably just describes it really, really well. He says, I fancy the tyres. Steve said, I'm going the other way, but revolted and elimination. Hard luck.
Combination then that we like to see Natasha Wise, Stephanie Best, Fate, Alan Wildman and Zing all looking great. Don't forget they're going to be combined for the grand final later on this afternoon. But the quality of this competition, breathtaking. And this is how the overalls are shaping up at the moment. All going through to the final later on in just about a couple of hours. 2.5 hours, in fact, later on in the afternoon of the second day of Crufts 2022. small dogs. First to go, Samantha Lane, 6-year-old Ninja Zippy, Cocker Spaniel.
I love this dog, love its attitude, love its commitment to work. Doesn't give a, anything about anything, and unfortunately elimination because it back jumped one of the jumps. But what mattered to this dog, he's just having a ball. And as I say, Sam doesn't really care either. She's given it her best shot. She's trained the dog as best she can. Dogs are dogs, things happen on the day, and this is absolutely fantastic demonstration. Well done to her.
Yeah, well done for Zippy and Samantha Lane. An early elimination though for that combination. The working cocker, 4-year-old Fanny and Sundertit from Camberley. Just gone the wrong way going into the tunnel, and problems with the tunnel. Takes it in the end, picks up 5 faults, loses a load of time. A working cocker turning and looking good going over at the dog walk. They'll have to play this one out, but I don't think we're going to be seeing them later in the afternoon, Graham, unless I'm very much mistaken.
I don't think so, but it's really nice to see another working Cocker Spaniel becoming very popular in the UK now, and you can see why. They just love to work. They need to be doing something. They are a working breed, and say that's where they picked up the elimination. They should have gone in there, but he did come and correct it, and all was good.
Lauren Langman and Blink, another working cocker, great entertainer. Whenever Blink is on the Crufts carpet, gives absolutely everything, not always accurate, but always quick, lightning quick, and loves her work. I'd love to see Blink make it through to the later stages of this competition, and all looking good so far. A really impressive opening 20 seconds from Blink and from Lauren, this pairing from Oakhampton, flying through the weaves. Tight turn there, no problem for Blink. Straight away through the tyre. This is going to be a very good time to keep it respectable and keep it clean. 35.2 for Blink and for Lauren, and as things stand, that is the best.
Look at the dog, having a fantastic time. Brilliant.
Sizzle, the Shetland sheepdog, 4 years of age. Katrina Hands, impressive pairing this. Won the British Open on day 1. And runner-up in the championship as well. They are enjoying Crufts 2022 hugely and looking to make a major impact in this competition as well. We have 35 seconds there, the best time at the moment. But oh, just went the wrong way there. There'll be precious hundredths of a second drop there by Sizzle. Turns so tightly, not a problem at all. Again, veered a little bit left, has come right and has done okay. 36.2 for Sizzle and for Katrina, and that's second place for them.
Huge support in the arena here for Katrina, and you can see why this little dog really is a pocket rocket. Great round.
Winnie, 8-year-old cross cockapoo, and Charlotte Wilkinson from Cardiff. First time at Crufts, first agility dog for Charlotte. And I think this one will go round Winnie in her own time and at her own pace. And you can't ask for anything more because she will give absolutely everything.
No, I think it's one of these things, Jim, that as I keep saying to you, day in, day out, and that competition-wise, we don't compete in this environment or necessarily on this carpet, and it does take, there's no substitute for experience.
Yep.
And I think this dog will get, it's probably a lot quicker than this day to day, and I'm sure if she comes here again, she's going to, be a lot quicker than she is at the moment.
Well, it's a lovely dog and it's a faultless round, and you can only do your best, and if your best means incurring no faults at all on 45 seconds, that will do fine. A really good effort. It's the top 3 at the moment. Things could change. Lovely style, lovely dog. Well done, Winnie, the cross cockapoo. Lee Harfield And Bell, 4-year-old working cocker, third in the jumping this morning. Bit of confusion there, and a lot of time lost for Lee and for Bell. But no faults incurred, but that'll push them down the timings. Nicely over that complex 3-jump section right in front of us. Good. No, missed the end of the dog walk. Missed it clearly. And more faults being picked up at the end of the weaves as well. We're going to have to go back and complete them. And again, as always, we'll finish the round and a bit more confusion, bit more hesitation. Lee Harfield and Bell. Let's give them a big round for the finish. 15 faults and a good effort. This is the penultimate dog. Second in the jumping this morning, Louise Eden and Fuse, 10-year-old Shetland sheepdog. Could well be a last year, or his last year, I should say, at Crufts, determined to enjoy the occasion. What a beautiful sight that is. From Jersey, this partnership, Louise and Fuse. Skims over the surface there, Fuse. Oh! just a little hop. But
yeah, bunny hop, they call that, a bunny hop. But
picking up 5 faults.
And another 5 there for a refusal, so that was 2 refusals there on the wall. She's just got to keep her nerve now, keep it collected together. Let's finish off in the manner that she'd wish it to. This doesn't preclude her from being in tonight's final. We'll just have to see how the scores stack up. So 10 faults showing here on the monitor, 47.199.
Last to go in the jumping. Alan Bray competed yesterday. First in the morning jumping. Last to go in the agility. Alan Bray, always a respected handler and always brings his dogs here in marvellous condition. And a great competitor, Alan Bray and Tikita.
Never looks as though he's actually running very fast, Alan, but he puts himself in the best positions at all times. What he does is he very cleverly gets the dog to do all the work for him, and then while the dog's doing the work, he actually moves into the correct position like there. So now he will have to stretch his legs a little bit going across there, but again, he's just asking the dog to do it for him. Very nice, shaping up for a great
time,
round.
It is a great time, and it's good enough for second place for Alan Bray and Tikita. We will respect them again, and we will see them again later on for sure. Lovely silver collar there. Bit of Crufts bling for Nikita. And the 1, 2, 3, Lauren Langman and Blink. And Alan Bray and Tikita in second place. Katrina Hans and Sizzle, the Shetland sheepdog, in third. Running them all the way through, but don't forget these results are all going to be sort of crunched together, so we get the best of the best for the grand final later this afternoon in a couple of hours' time.
Our first handler here in the games is Stephen Swanky. Stephen is a 9-year-old crossbreed third, all the way from Boston.
First dog of 8 to go in the medium dogs. Stephen Swanky and Fern, and there's 5 faults picked up very early on in the round over the A-frame. Lovely jumping style this one, Graham. Clears the jumps with a lot to spare.
Does, but it gets the job done. But again, just a little bit of time lost while it is in the air. If it jumped forward a bit more, that's obviously the preferred style.
Through the tunnel and the tyre, little right-hander on the last couple, and finally the Kennel Club jump to complete it, 39.9 and 5 faults, getting our medium section underway. Next to go, Lauren Burns and Zebedee. Papillon, Collie Cross, Sheltie. First agility dog this for Lauren. He's taken her to just about every big event in the UK. Exceptional little dog. That is Zebedee. Good contact at the bottom of the A-frame, got over up and down that very, very quickly indeed. Zebedee, great pace and commitment in his work. Ooh, look at that, over the dog walk. Wide turn as well. Zebedee in sharp form. Lauren doing a great job out there as well. Through that tyre, right-hand turn. Keep an eye on the clock because this is going to be special. 33 dead, no faults. Lauren Burns and Zebedee. Quality. Natasha Pudubecki and Midget, the 8-year-old working Cocker Spaniel. And we would expect Midget to scream her way around this course. Natasha Pudubecki from Devon, the handler. There we go. There go the screams. Nothing like a bit of sound effects, Graham.
And just a little bit of clarification there. The dog's answered the question. Actually, it is the dog that's screaming his way round. But you can't fault this dog's enthusiasm, can you? But there we are, picking up 5 faults for refusal, and another refusal resulting in a back jump and an elimination there for Natasha. But both her and the dog will continue around here and have a marvellous time.
Our judge, Chris Huckle, from the same part of the world in Devon, very, very reluctant there when he crossed his arms and said, sorry, you guys are eliminating.
I think they call that a little bit of overexcitement, Jim.
This is Liz Carpenter and Maggie, 2-year-old Collie Cross miniature poodle, a dog with a great future. Started competing last year from May to December, reached the top grade, grade 7. And in the Team GB selection process as well. Liz Carpenter and Maggie, just 2 years of age, this Collie Cross.
Wearing the blue and yellow, supporting Ukraine. The agility community in this country is doing a fantastic amount to support the relief effort in aid of dogs and their handlers over there. But this dog's actually doing its own job of advertising Ukraine as well.
And going very well through the weeds is 2-year-old Maggie, and the time looks very good to me as well. Can't hang around at the far end of the course. Turns right over that Kennel Club. That's a good time. 33.4. Runner-up right now. Deserved applause from Chris Huckle. Gareth Kernell and Maggie May, Patterdale Working Terrier. We are enjoying Terrier and Hound Day today here at Crufts on day 2. 7 years of age is Maggie May. First time for this pairing competing at Crufts. It's really such a different style. It's really interesting to look at the dogs and compare their jumping style in particular. Very neat and very precise and faultless thus far. Maggie May and Gareth. Probably quicker than you think as well. I think they're just picking up 5 faults. But won't be among the quickest times, but a very, very fine effort. 39 seconds into the top 3 right now, but that could well change. Here is Ashley Butler and Eliza. Lovely looking dog, 8-year-old bearded collie. 3rd in the jumping this morning and 2nd overall in the championship on day 1 here at Crufts. Ashley Butler, remember the quickest time 33.0, but remember everything gets crunched together, and as long as you're right up there and as long as the round is clean, not compulsory of course, but that should keep you in the competition. Just a bit pitter-patter at the end of the dog walk there. But yeah, Ashley whispering her instructions almost through the tyre. It's a good time. It's a clear round. Ashley Butler and Eliza, nicely done. Top 3. Dalton Meredith, penultimate dog, and Munchie. So, 6-year-old Border Collie. Second in this morning's jumping. And what can they do here in the agility? Over the IAMS jump there, up the far end of the course, clears the U-move obstacle with some alacrity, picks up some faults, probably didn't touch the white section at the end of the seesaw there. And more faults accrued for Dalton and for Munchie. Munchie's clean through the weaves though. That's an awkward little right-hander up through the tyre. Again, the time is good. 10 faults though, 36.2, and the 10 faults in the top 6 might not be good enough. We'll wait and see when the number crunching happens at the end of this. Okay, the last dog first in the jumping this morning, James Adams and Willow, working Cocker Spaniel. Already a big winner here at Crufts, the last one to go in this medium section. Best time 33, in the 33s, really unclear. Can they beat that? Well, looking so good at the moment. Little Willow scampering across, almost eating up the obstacles there as Willow. That is so quick over the dog walk. This time is looking great at the moment. First 20 seconds and the weaves completed successfully. Into that tunnel, out of it we go, up to the tyre. This is going to be a great time. It's going to be outstanding time. It really is a great time. It's the best time so far for James Adams and Willow. Great stuff.
Outstanding time and an outstanding round. Brilliant.
Glorious pictures of Willow and James. James Adams and Willow then, best in the medium section. Lauren Burns and Zebedee second place, and Liz Carpenter and Maggie in third, but we'll see them all again later in the afternoon. It is going to be a heck of a competition, a heck of a finale. Just rounding off the result for you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's presentation time. Okay, to our presentation for Crufts single teams, please welcome John Howie, the co-founder of Flyball.
And here we go with the presentations. We've got John Howie from Lint Bells going to do the presentations, and they're going to start off with the smalls. And Lauren Langman there, the winner of this round of the Crufts singles. And Alan Bray is the runner-up in this section. Well done, Alan. And after a very exciting medium section, and we've got James Adams looking very good for this evening's final, but I think he's going to be pushed hard there by Lauren Burns with Zebedee. I know somebody who's going to be very pleased and well used to being in the limelight, the winner of the intermediate, and it's Natasha Wise, and closely followed up into second place there by Stephanie Best. And then the in-form Nara Cuddy, watch her this evening if she's made the final with Lemon, the Border Collie, and Dalton Meredith, who we've seen a lot of today. So big smiles from everybody, and we will look forward to seeing most of these people here this evening. So they're just collecting the glasses so that they don't get dropped on the way they're doing their lap of honour.